You've failed another funded challenge, maybe your third, maybe your 10th. And the worst part, you don't even know why. Was it your strategy? Was it your risk management? Was it bad luck? Was it the market conditions? Was it the prop firm's rules that trapped you? Or is it something deeper? Something nobody is talking about? Something that no YouTube video or trading course ever actually addresses? Because here's what I know after 40 years. The challenge isn't the problem. Yeah, you are. And by the end of this, you'll understand exactly why and exactly what to change. Let's get into it. Stop blaming the prop firm. Stop blaming the spreads. Stop blaming the drawdown rules. Stop blaming the time limit. Those things exist for everyone. And some people pass consistently. So the variable isn't the challenge. The variable is the trader sitting in front of the screen. That's you. Now here is the uncomfortable truth that nobody in the trading space wants to say out loud. Most traders who fail funded challenges fail because of one single root cause. They are not trading the challenge. They are performing for the challenge. Read that again. There is a massive difference between trading and performing. Trading is mechanical, disciplined, emotionally neutral. You follow a process. You execute a plan. You accept outcomes without attachment. Performing is emotional, ego-driven, outcome-obsessed. You trade to prove something, to hit a number, to reach a target by a specific date. The moment you sit down to attempt a funded challenge, your brain switches from trader mode to performer mode. And performer mode destroys accounts. Every single decision becomes contaminated by the awareness that you are being evaluated, that there is a maximum drawdown limit watching you, that there is a profit target you must reach. That awareness changes everything about how you trade. It makes you rush. It makes you overanalyze. It makes you hesitate on good setups and jump into bad ones. It makes you human. In a game that punishes being human. Let me explain exactly what happens in your brain during a funded challenge. This is not motivational talk. This is behavioral science applied to trading. When the stakes feel high, and a funded challenge absolutely feels high stakes, your brain activates what is known as the threat response. Cortisol increases. Adrenaline spikes. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational decision-making, becomes partially suppressed. The emotional brain takes over more control. What does that look like in real trading behavior? It looks like holding losing trades too long because closing them means accepting that you've moved closer to the maximum drawdown limit. It looks like closing winning trades too early because locking in a profit feels safer than watching it potentially reverse. It looks like taking trades that don't meet your criteria because you feel behind on the profit target and time is running out. It looks like increasing position size after a loss to make it back faster, which is the single fastest way to hit the drawdown limit and end the challenge. Every single one of these behaviors is a product of the threat response, not poor strategy. Not bad analysis. Biology taking control of your decisions. And here's what makes this particularly brutal. The more you care about passing the challenge, the stronger the threat response. The stronger the threat response, the worse your decisions become. Caring too much is literally the mechanism that causes failure. This is not a mindset problem you can solve with positive affirmations. It requires a structural change in how you approach the challenge itself. There is another layer to this that goes even deeper. Most traders who repeatedly fail funded challenges have attached their identity to passing them. Passing the challenge means I am a real trader. Failing means I am not. That belief is catastrophic, and it is operating silently in the background of every decision you make. When your identity is on the line, you cannot trade objectively. Impossible. Because every trade is no longer just a trade. Every trade is a referendum on who you are as a person. A losing trade doesn't just cost you pips. It costs you your sense of self, your confidence, your belief in your own ability. That weight is too heavy to carry into a trading session. Nobody performs well under that kind of psychological pressure. And the cycle becomes self-reinforcing. You fail the challenge. Your identity takes a hit. You attempt it again with even more to prove. The identity pressure is now higher. The threat response is stronger. Your decisions are worse. You fail again. Each failure adds another layer of pressure to the next attempt. This is why some traders fail 10 challenges in a row without improving. They are not getting better information. They are getting heavier psychological baggage. The mindset shift required here is fundamental. You must completely detach your identity from the outcome of any single challenge. Passing a funded challenge does not make you a good trader. Failing one does not make you a bad trader. What makes you a good trader is the quality of your process, nothing else. The challenge result is feedback on your process, not a judgment on your worth. Now let me address something practical that directly contributes to challenge failures. Most traders fundamentally misunderstand what funded challenge rules are actually designed to do. They treat the rules as obstacles, restrictions, things the prop firm invented to make passing difficult. That interpretation is wrong, and that interpretation costs them challenges. The rules of a funded challenge are not obstacles. They are filters. They are designed to filter out traders who cannot manage risk under pressure, traders who revenge trade, traders who size up irrationally, traders who hold losers and cut winners. The rules are not trying to trap you. They are trying to reveal you. And here is what that means practically. The maximum daily drawdown rule is not the enemy. It is a mirror. It shows you whether you can stop trading after a bad day, whether you have the discipline to close the platform and walk away when conditions turn against you. The maximum total drawdown rule is not the enemy. It is measuring whether you understand position sizing, whether you can survive a losing streak without panic. The profit target is not the enemy. It is measuring whether you can generate consistent returns without over-leveraging or gambling. When you understand the rules as filters, your relationship with them changes completely. Instead of fighting them, you work with them. Instead of feeling restricted, you feel guided. The trader who respects the rules as meaningful structure trades completely differently from the trader who resents them. One is calm, methodical, deliberate. The other is tense, reactive, desperate. Which one passes more challenges? The answer is obvious. Here is the specific technical mistake that ends more funded challenges than anything else. Traders know intellectually that they should risk 1 to 2% per trade. They say it. They believe it. They teach it to others sometimes. And then they sit down for a funded challenge and risk 5% because the setup looks really strong. This is the position sizing delusion. It operates like this. During practice trading or personal accounts, the stakes feel lower. The rules feel flexible. 1% risk feels too small to matter. So traders develop habits of risking 3, 4, 5% per trade. Those habits feel normal. They become the default. Then the funded challenge begins. The trader intellectually knows they should size down, but the body has a different habit. The hands click the same size they always click. 1 or 2 bad trades at 5% risk, and suddenly they're at 60% of their maximum drawdown used. Panic sets in. The threat response activates. Decision quality collapses. Challenge failed. The solution is not telling yourself to risk less during the challenge. That approach relies on willpower. Willpower fails under pressure. The solution is rebuilding the position sizing habit before the challenge begins. Spend a minimum of 4 weeks trading your exact challenge rules on a demo account. Same drawdown limits. Same profit targets. Same time pressure. Not to practice strategy. To hardwire the correct position sizing into muscle memory. So that when the real challenge begins, the correct size is not a decision. It is an automatic behavior. Automatic behaviors survive pressure. Conscious decisions do not. Funded challenges come with time limits. 30 days. 60 days. Sometimes more. That time limit is one of the most psychologically destructive elements of the entire challenge structure. Here is what the time limit does to trader behavior. In week 1, the trader is calm. Plenty of time remaining. They take quality setups. They follow their rules. They manage risk correctly. In week 2, mild awareness of the time remaining. Slight increase in urgency. Setups are still mostly quality, but the trader occasionally stretches criteria slightly. In week 3, the profit target is not hit yet. Time pressure becomes acute. The trader starts taking setups they would never take with no deadline. Frequency of trades increases. Average trade quality decreases. In week 4, desperation. The trader is now gambling, not trading. They know it's somewhere in the back of their mind but cannot stop. Challenge fails in week 4. After 3 perfectly disciplined weeks, this pattern repeats across thousands of traders across dozens of prop firms. The time limit breaks discipline in the final stretch. Every time. The solution requires reframing the time limit completely. The time limit is not a deadline for hitting the profit target. It is a minimum viable period for demonstrating consistent process. If you hit the profit target in 15 days with consistent disciplined trading, perfect. Challenge passed. If you reach day 28 and are still short of the profit target because the market didn't offer enough quality setups, that is not failure. That is discipline. Many prop firms allow extensions or offer retakes at reduced cost for traders who demonstrate clean process even without hitting targets. But more importantly, a trader who reaches day 28 with 0 drawdown rule violations and disciplined position sizing is a trader with a working process. That trader passes the next attempt because the process is there. The trader who reaches day 28 having violated every rule in desperation, they'll fail the next 10 attempts too. Protect the process, not the timeline. Let me address something that almost nobody talks about in the context of funded challenges: strategy switching. It is one of the most common and most damaging behaviors among repeat challenge failures. Here is how it typically unfolds. A trader has a strategy. They've tested it. It has a positive expectancy over a sufficient sample size. It works. They begin the funded challenge with that strategy. Early in the challenge, the strategy has a losing week. Normal. All strategies have losing periods. But instead of trusting the strategy and the sample size, the trader panics, concludes the strategy doesn't work for this challenge, switches to a different approach. The new approach isn't tested, isn't proven, isn't part of any disciplined framework. It is reactive. It is fear-driven. It is account destroying. A strategy with proven positive expectancy over 200 trades will fail in 20 trades regularly. That is mathematics, not strategy failure. Abandoning a proven strategy after 20 losing trades is statistical illiteracy disguised as adaptability. The funded challenge environment amplifies this problem because every losing trade feels more significant due to the drawdown rules. 3 losing trades at 2% risk each means 6% of account gone. Against a 10% maximum drawdown limit, that feels catastrophic. But it is not. 6% used against a 10% limit with good position sizing means there is still room, still capacity, still opportunity. The trader who understands statistics stays with the proven strategy and manages the drawdown mathematically. The trader who doesn't understand statistics panics, switches strategies, and destroys the account with an untested approach in an already compromised drawdown position. Know your strategy's historical maximum losing streak. Know the expected drawdown periods. Know the average recovery time. If the current losing streak is within historical norms, stay the course. Execute the process. Trust the data. Here is a perspective on funded challenges that fundamentally changes how you should approach them. The evaluation period is not a test you pass or fail. It is a sample collection period. The prop firm is collecting a sample of your trading behavior. They are analyzing that sample for specific characteristics: consistent risk management, disciplined position sizing, rational decision-making under pressure, positive expectancy over a meaningful sample. They are not looking for perfection. No professional trading firm expects a trader to win every trade. They are looking for evidence of a repeatable process. That reframe changes everything about how you approach each trading day of the challenge. Instead of asking, "Am I going to pass today?" you ask, "Am I demonstrating a repeatable process today?" Instead of asking, "Is this trade going to win?" you ask, "Is this trade consistent with my documented process?" Instead of asking, "How close am I to the profit target?" you ask, "How consistently am I executing the plan?" This reframe removes the outcome attachment that activates the threat response. You are not trying to win. You are trying to demonstrate a process. Winning is a byproduct of a good process executed consistently. And here is the practical application of this reframe. Keep a trade journal during the challenge, not just entries and exits. Document your reasoning for every trade before you take it. Why this pair? Why this direction? Why this entry point? Why this position size? Why this stop level? Why this target? 6 documented reasons per trade. Every trade. If you cannot document 6 clear reasons, you do not have a trade. You have an impulse. And impulses don't belong in funded challenges. The journal also serves another purpose. If you fail the challenge, the journal tells you exactly where the process broke down. Not a vague feeling that you traded badly. Specific documented evidence of the exact decision points where discipline failed. That specificity is what allows actual improvement, not just emotional recovery. Structural improvement. Everything covered in this video leads to one central shift, one fundamental change in orientation that makes everything else possible. Most traders approach funded challenges as a financial opportunity. The successful ones approach it as a professional evaluation. That single difference in framing determines almost every downstream behavior. When you see it as a financial opportunity, you trade for money. Urgency drives decisions. Profit target obsession contaminates every trade. Fear of losing the fee you paid drives irrational risk-taking. When you see it as a professional evaluation, you trade for process quality. Patience drives decisions. Consistency of execution becomes the only metric that matters. The fee becomes the cost of a professional assessment, worth paying for accurate feedback. Businesses pay for professional evaluations constantly. Audits, assessments, reviews. They are valuable because they provide accurate information about current performance. A funded challenge is an accurate assessment of your current trading performance under realistic pressure conditions. If you pass, the assessment confirms your process is institutionally viable. If you fail, the assessment has identified specific weaknesses in your process that require addressing before you manage significant capital. Both outcomes are valuable. Both outcomes move you forward. The trader who passes once by luck and fails repeatedly afterward. They learned nothing from the assessment. The trader who fails 5 times but uses each failure to identify and fix specific process weaknesses. They are building something real. Now let me give you the exact checklist for your next challenge attempt. Not motivation. Mechanics. Before the challenge begins, document your complete strategy in writing. Entry criteria. Exit criteria. Position sizing formula. Maximum trades per day. Pairs traded. Sessions traded. Nothing left to in-session decision making. During the challenge, execute only what is documented. Journal every trade with 6 reasons before entry. Stop trading immediately after hitting 50% of daily drawdown limit. Never trade within 30 minutes of major news releases. After each trading day, review process quality only, not profit or loss. Identify any deviation from the documented strategy. Document the reason for the deviation. Correct it before the next session. At the end of the challenge, regardless of result, analyze the full journal. Calculate the percentage of trades that fully met all documented criteria. If that percentage is below 80%, the process needs refinement before the next attempt. If it is above 80% and you still failed, the strategy parameters need adjustment, not the discipline. That distinction matters enormously. Discipline problem and strategy problem require completely different solutions. Fixing discipline when the strategy is the issue wastes time. Fixing strategy when discipline is the issue wastes time. The journal tells you which one it is. Specifically, unmistakably. This is the mindset shift that changes everything. Not confidence, not positive thinking, not aggressive goal setting. Clarity, process, documentation, honest assessment, structural correction. That is what passes funded challenges consistently. That is what builds a real trading career. Not luck, not a perfect strategy, not the right market conditions. A repeatable process, executed with discipline, assessed with honesty, improved with specificity. That is the complete answer. Now you have it. Use it.